Okay, now that we're seated on the mat, the first thing we're going to do is a forward bend. In the forward bend, you're going to sit with your back straight, feet straight out in front of you. Bring your arms up and lean forward. Go until you feel a slight resistance in your lower back and your hamstrings. At this point, you can bring your hands down, grab whether that's your knees, your shins, your feet, wherever. Grab onto that and just relax into the stretch. Hold that for a count of 10. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And then with a straight back, bring yourself back up. Next, we're going to talk about another back stretch, which is called a spinal twist.
The spinal twist, it's important to note that when you do this twist, once again, as with all stretching exercises, you do not want to push yourself to the point of pain. So what we're going to do, Heidi, if you can take your right leg, bring it up and cross it over your left leg and place your foot by your knee. You're then going to twist to the opposite side of the leg that you just brought up over your body. Some recommend that you put the elbow on the knee. We don't recommend that for beginners because many people have a tendency to twist too hard and they'll actually overexert their back. All Heidi's doing now is putting pressure on her right hand and she's merely twisting the trunk of her body. You hold that stretch for a count of 10 and switch sides.
Always remembering to move in and out of that stretch very slowly. A way you can be sure that you're keeping your spine in line is by bringing the palm of your hand closer to your back during that stretch.
Now that we did the spinal twist, let's talk about the hip flexors once again.
Okay, a really good exercise for this, there's a couple things it's called. It's called reclining cobbler's pose in yoga, or just a butterfly stretch. Bring the soles of your feet together, and you can reach down, grab onto your feet, and just slightly pull yourself forward. You're going to feel that in your inner thigh and hip flexors. Next, we're going to talk about how to stretch our quadriceps. And Shannon, if you would like to talk about that?
Sure. The quadriceps are an interesting muscle to try to stretch because most of your exercise is actually done by the largest muscle in the body, which is in fact the quad. However, to effectively stretch them, most of the time you have to hyperextend the knee. So we recommend that if you're going to do any of these exercises, have a pad or a pillow or something that you can lessen impact on your knees. By doing the kneeling stretch, all you're going to do is come up to a kneeling position on both your knees, once again utilizing a pad or some other form of cushion, and you're merely just going to sit back, trying to put the shoelaces of your shoe with the mat itself. Try to really feel the stretch in the quadriceps. If you feel any undue pain or unnecessary pain in your knees, immediately stop the exercise or come back up to a less rigid kneeling position. Okay, last but not least, what we're going to show you is how to stretch out your lower back and your upper back and also your rear deltoids. That's called the Cobra stretch. What Heidi's going to do, she's going to maintain a push-up position and she's going to very slowly push herself up while trying to keep her quads and pelvis on the mat. This is stretching out the lower lumbars and it's also stretching out the abdominal wall as well. Now moving from this position then, all you're going to do is transition back to the same kneeling position we did, but keeping the palms of your hands on the mat. At this time, we're stretching out the rear delts, and we're also stretching out the back, the lower lumbars, and even some of the abdominal wall as well. That concludes the stretching exercises from head to toe. Heidi, let's wrap this up. A stretching exercise is very important, both at the start of a workday, and if you have at the time, at the end of your workday as well. Anything else you'd like to add for the stretching?
When you're doing physical activity, if whatever main muscle groups you're working, remember some of these stretches for those main muscle groups, and be sure to stretch during and after your workouts.
We thank you guys for joining us for this episode of the Functional Fitness video series. Stay tuned for the next one where we're going to talk about calisthenics and how to maximize your workouts in your firehouse without using absolutely any equipment.